Hi guys, it's Ariana. Welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, we are going to be playing with a new palette that I picked up. So this is the Juicy Olive palette from the brand Give Me Glow. And I'm kind of disappointed that it came with one of the shades broken, but I've already contacted the company and they are sending me another shade just because the palette itself is actually magnetic and the shades do just pop into it. So the shade Cocktails did come broken, but they did send me another one. It will just pop out, so when that one arrives, I will have a new shade. So I'm just gonna quickly clean off this palette because it is very dirty. Alright, so I just had to go clean up my desk because the shade got all over my desk and that was a pain in the ass. So of course it had to be the darkest shade in the palette that broke, so it made such a big mess, but this is what the palette looks like. So they resent me the shade, so the shade Cocktails they are resending me because I have a big chunk of it missing just because it arrived broken. But this is the palette, so this is a really gorgeous palette. It is very much a palette that I was very interested in and it was always out of stock. I am really excited that I picked it up and purchased it. So it was about 30 USD, so I think that retailed to be about 50 Canadian after shipping and everything. It is a very expensive palette for me because I don't make a whole lot of money, but this is a really gorgeous palette and it is very much a color story that I'm very excited for. So I want to do a look today, just obviously a green inspired look because it is a very green palette, and I just want to see what Give Me Glow's shades work like and what the shimmers work like, because I've watched a lot of reviews and a lot of reviews rave about this palette and how amazing this brand is, so I'm very excited to try it myself. So let's just jump on into the video. So I'm going to start off this video by priming my eyes. I'm going to be using the Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Acid Concealer from the brand ColourPop in the shade Fair 05. Now if you are new to my channel, I always prime my eyes with a very light concealer just because I find that it helps make the eyeshadow pop a little bit more, so that is why I just went ahead and did that. So now I'm going to use one of my Luxie brushes. I'm just going to use a blender brush. So this is the Luxie 205 tapered blending brush, and I'm going to go into this shade Dry Martini, which is this really pretty green right here, and I'm going to put that all into my crease. So the kick up is about normal for eyeshadows, so there is some kick up, and if you don't like kick up, you might not like this palette, but there is a little bit of kick up, so keep that in mind. And I'm just going to go all into my crease. Now on a smaller blending brush, I'm going to go into the exact same shade and I'm just going to intensify that color a little bit more inside my crease. Now on a fluffy blending brush that has nothing on it, I don't believe there's anything on this, no. I'm just going to go in and I'm just going to kind of diffuse the shade a little bit and blend it out so there's not any harsh lines. Now I'm going to go back in with a blending brush and I'm just going to go back into that color Dry Martini, and I'm just going to re-intensify that green just because a little bit of the cocktail color got into the green, so it did make my look a little bit darker than I wanted it to. So keep that in mind. If you do get a shade that comes broken, the top layer may be exposed to the shadow that broke. So it's not really anything against the shadows, it's just top layer had the cocktails color mixed into it, so it is what it is. But now that I have built up the color to be as vibrant as I want, it works really well. It looks really nice. The color is blending really nicely, so I'm excited for that. I'm going to go into the outer corner color. I'm going to use a tapered brush and I'm going to go into the color that broke. So that is the cocktail color, and I'm going to put that on the outer corner and I'm going to blend that into the crease just because we already have some of that color in there, mixed in there, that I didn't really want. So I'm just going to kind of fix that by purposely putting it there and blending it into the crease and making the crease a little bit more deep because it was already there from the shade being broken. And I'm going to go into just a blending brush and I'm just going to blend Dry Martini into the crease again and blend those colors together. So it is a little bit patchy and I'm not really loving that, but it is what it is. There's nothing I can really do about that at the moment. So I'm going to go in with some of the NYX glitter glue and I'm just going to put that on a crease brush. So this is the Luxie 246 Precision Crease Brush, and I'm just going to put the glitter glue all over the lid. So now I'm going to go into the color Garnish, which is this really pretty shimmer color here, and I am going to put that all over where we just laid down that glitter glue. And on the outer portion, I'm going to go into the darker shimmer, so the color Shaken Not Stirred, and I'm going to put that on the outer corner. I'm going to blend those two colors together in the center so that there isn't any harsh lines. Now I'm going to go into my smaller blender brush, so this is the mini tapered blending brush, and I'm going to go into the color Dry Martini and mix it into a little bit of Cocktails. And I'm just going to go into the crease and just blend out the crease a little bit so it's not so patchy. I'm going to go into a fluffy blending brush with Dry Martini on it, and I'm just going to blend that into the crease. Now on the outer corner, I'm just going to re-intensify the Cocktail shade just a little bit more and blend it into the Shaken Not Stirred shimmer color. So I'm just laying the darker shade down, and then I'm going to go into the Shaken Not Stirred color and just lay that over top. So that looks really pretty. It's a really grungy green color. Obviously it's a grungy kind of olive palette. I really like it. I think it's really pretty. I'm going to quickly go ahead and redo the same look on the other eye, do some eyeliner and my base makeup, so my foundation and contour and bronzer, and then I will be right back to finish the under eyes with you and talk to you about my thoughts of this palette. Alright, so I just quickly threw on some lashes, eyeliner, and my base makeup. So now we can go ahead and finish up the under eyes. So I think I want to go into the color Dirty Martini. I think that's the only, besides Vodka Teeny, I think that's the only color we haven't used. So I'm going to go into this color right here, which is the Dirty Martini color. I'm just going to sweep that underneath my lash line. I think that's a really pretty green color. So now on the inner corner, I think I'm just going to go in and pop in just a little bit of one of the shimmers. So I'm going to take Garnish, which is the really pretty shimmer color, and I'm just going to put that on the inner corner. This is my inner corner highlight. And now for my brow bone, just because I want to keep it kind of green based, I'm going to go into the color Alien Ice from Jeffree Star Cosmetics. And using the same brush that I just put that shimmer color on, I'm going to put that into my brow bone area, just because I think that really pretty green, kind of ice cold color will go really pretty with this look. And now for my actual highlight, I have the shade Moon Cruiser from Kaleidoscope Cosmetics. So it is like a bluey, pinky, purple shift to it, and I think it looks really pretty with this look. So now I'm just going to quickly go grab a lipstick, do my mascara on my lash line, and I will be right back to give you guys my final thoughts on the palette. Alright, so I am back once I have my wig on and my mascara on and just a little bit of lip gloss. So I went in with the Iconic London lip gloss in the shade Peekaboo. Now I can give you guys my final thoughts on the palette. So besides the one shade coming broken, I do think this palette worked really well. I did get a little bit of trouble with the fact that the shade that did break was the darkest shade in the palette. So it was that really, really dark green color. It broke and it kind of coated the top layer of all of my shadows with that really dark color. So I was kind of getting a little bit of muddiness in the areas in my crease that I really didn't want, but I ended up fixing that just by blending it and making it work. So I do think that the eyeshadow that I got worked really well. I do really want to test this palette out versus the Melt Cosmetics Gemini palette, because I do own that palette as well. I'll post it up on the screen here, just because they are very similar toned base palettes on the one side, and the other side is browns and neutrals obviously, but I'm really interested to see how this palette works against the Melt Cosmetics palette, just because they are both very green based palettes, and I'm very interested to see the differences and the formulas and how they both work, because I really like the formulation of both eyeshadows so far from what I'm going off of by my memory. Melt Cosmetics has one of my absolute favorite formulas. So I'm very excited to test out those two palettes together and see what the differences are. So I'm very excited to continue playing with this palette. This palette worked really nice. I do really think that the shimmers are really pretty. So there is 2 shimmers in the palette. I wish there was one more shimmer in the palette, because there is 4 mattes and 2 shimmers. I kind of wish that it was like 3 and 3, just because I really like their shimmers and their shimmers are really pretty. But other than that, I would say that this palette worked really great. So obviously this is just a first impressions. This is the very first time that I'm playing with this formula and this brand, so I can't really give you guys a full in-depth review just from my first time using it. But I would say for a first impressions, it worked really nice, and I am very impressed with how this look turned out. This eyeliner is a little messed up just because I can never get this side the same as this side for some reason. This one's always awesome and this one always sucks, so is what it is. But I do think that this palette worked really great, so if you don't already have a really olive-based palette in your collection, I would say that this is a really awesome palette to pick up. The shades are actually magnetic, so they do pop out, so when they do send me the replacement shade for this one, I will be able to just pop it out and it'll be magnetized, so I'll be able to put the new one in with no issues. But now my hands are literally covered in like really dark green, and it's kind of irritating me just because I hate having stuff on my hands. It's just a me thing. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you guys did enjoy this video, please make sure to give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below for more content like this, and I will see you guys at the next video. I will be doing more looks with this palette. I will be doing another video of an actual review on it, and I will probably be doing an Instagram video as well. So if you aren't already following me on Instagram, my Instagram and all of my social medias are linked down below. I do believe I am twistedglam_ on everything, so you can go follow me on my socials, and you can see more tutorials and mini videos of me just playing around with this palette and other palettes. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys at the next video. Bye!